Hi, and welcome to HUR at Home Lifestyle Division. I'm Angela Striveling, and I'm all smiles because, woo, wait until you see who we have for you tonight. They're all my friends. We're going to start off with one of my good friends. Actually, we've known each other for years, and I've just watched him blossom. He is the DMV style expert. He's an author, he's an entrepreneur, and we're going to talk all things Paul Wharton tonight. So, get ready. If I had an applause, I would, or drum roll, I'd go ahead and hit it. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul
I
Wharton.
love it. I love it. Whenever I watch you, I just smile. I'm just like this, like a little kid.
Oh, I do the same thing. And first, I'm not even going to start with how is your hair so laid and it's so hot in DC, hot and
Let me
humid?
tell you something. I almost cut this bad boy off this morning.
No
I
way.
did a round brush blowout this morning, Angela, and walked outside, and it was like, poof.
Like
You know
me,
what I'm
I
saying?
didn't even try. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to try to blow dry it because it's just going to end up like this anyway. And so here we are.
And here we are. You look
And here we
absolutely stunning.
are.
Stunning.
Paul, it is so great to see you again. And you are doing your thing. We're going to talk all about the Paul Wharton show that's on Sirius XM. You're an author, and you know, you're living right in the thick of where all the protests are
Yes,
happening. Right at Lafayette Square.
I
So
am. I am.
be crazy. How has that been for you?
Well, I'll tell you, the first few years that this new administration was in office, Angela, it was kind of traumatic, you
Yeah.
know? Do you remember when you were kids and you were walking around your neighborhood and your friends would go, don't go to that house. They crazy. They crazy over there. And you're like, oh,
Cross
crazy
the
people live in
street.
that house.
Yeah.
You look over there and you're like, what is going on in there?
Yeah.
And I'm joking about it, but then I'm kind of not.
Yeah.
It did kind of change the vibe and the feeling looking down there. I felt like we were all sharing a universal depression every day, just kind of knowing
Yeah.
that all of this craziness was coming from that house. But I'll tell you, after the mayor sanctioned Black Lives Matter Plaza, and it happened like that,
Yeah.
it was the first time I have breathed a sigh of relief in a long time just walking around my neighborhood. I
Yeah.
felt like, okay, we want to be heard, we want to be seen, and I feel like someone heard us. And
Yeah.
that was really powerful.
I don't live down there, but I felt that feeling. It was, we
Yeah.
all woke up to those bold yellow letters, and it just did my heart good too. Yeah.
She told them paint it and paint it big so he could see it from every window in the front of that White House. When you having your coffee, you're going to see it.
You're going to see it.
You know what I mean? When you're
Listen,
watching your
they
reality
confirmed
shows, you're going to
you
see it.
can see it from outer space. They said we can see it from up here. So,
I love
yeah,
it.
it is not to be denied. So, thank you for sharing that. And,
Absolutely.
so along with, the world protesting, what is this, like the 16th day?
Yeah.
And people are still out there, and God bless every single one of them. We're also going through this COVID-19 pandemic. That is not over.
Yeah.
And, I wanted to talk to you about, in your view, how are we going to do many things? Like, for instance, I'm a hugger. And I should say I used to be. I'm not trying to hug anybody these days.
Yeah.
Just talking about the etiquette of it all. What's that going to look like
Well, I
after?
tell you, I was ready to give handshakes to boot because, I just feel like maybe, when you're a man, you go into the men's restroom and you're in there and you kind of do your thing, and some guy comes out of the stall and he rushes right out, and you see him at the cocktail party, and he's
Oh
handshakes
no,
need
no,
to
no.
end. No, but
Good.
I love the hugs and I love the interaction. I think this is really the time to really find out who your tribe is, Angela.
Mm, yeah,
And really nurture those relationships because you will be able to share those hugs and have that companionship. It's something that we've all been missing since the beginning of this.
oh,
As
so
a
much.
single person that lives alone, I didn't really realize how much I relied on the love and companionship and camaraderie of my friends because we're very tactile
Yeah,
until I didn't have it anymore. So yes, I know what you mean. We definitely have to take this time to think about our mental health. I spent a lot of my career talking about, what to wear and how to look good and get your hair right and get your skin right. But now I'm more focused right now, currently, on the fact that we all are sharing this universal depression because we're alone, but we don't have to be lonely, hopefully. Um, and just trying to work through that. So it's really time to put mental health first, I feel like. And we'll find our new normal. We'll get into our groove.
Yeah,
But
I
having
totally.
your tribe is so important.
You're so right. I mean, like you, I live alone and I daydream about the days I can invite my friends over to my pool and just go to the
Oh, I want to come
movie.
first.
You're coming. You are so coming. I mean, you take it for granted when you have it. And I rely on the love of my friends. I've got some beautiful friendships. Oh, my girlfriends, I would run in front of a running vehicle for them. And I know they would do the same thing for
Oh
me.
my God. Isn't it a
And
blessing? Yeah.
it's such a blessing. I love them. And, during times like this, the people that I did not expect to just check on me, people I really didn't know cared about me like that, would call
Yeah.
me frequently just to make sure I'm good. I've got some chef friends who just wanted to send me some food just in case I didn't, wasn't able to get out.
I
I am
love it.
feeling all the love. So out of all this negativity, you're so right. You find your tribe. You really do.
And technology has really come in handy. Things like FaceTime. I mean, the best thing I could have ever done was bought my mom an iPhone. So
Oh,
we can FaceTime. I think
yes.
this is the longest I've ever gone without spending that mother-son time. And
Yeah.
if you're grown and your parents are aging, you really realize how precious
Every
this
moment.
time is.
Yeah.
Having gone 4 or 5, maybe 6 months, maybe a year. Oh my gosh,
It's not
that's
right.
so important. So yes, FaceTime and just reaching out. I've actually gotten into writing handwritten letters, and it brings me so
Oh,
much joy when I get a letter in the mail. It's fabulous.
how wonderful. And this
Yeah,
is a great time to do that. You're sitting
yeah,
around. Everyone's on
yeah. You
social
got
media.
time on your hands?
Write a little note to somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Write a
Show a
note.
little love. I
Exactly,
love it.
exactly.
So, there's so many things I can talk to you about. And, I know that you're friends with someone. I've never met her, but I am such an admirer of Jennifer Lewis. Oh, every time I look at your social media and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love her.
The mother of Black Hollywood.
Yes, she is.
Let
Yes,
me
she
tell you
is.
something.
And
That is one
everybody's
of my
auntie.
Yes, exactly. That is one of my closest and most adored and beloved friends. That friendship has meant so much to me.
How'd you meet?
She is 3 hours behind. What'd you say, honey?
How did you guys get together? How'd you
We
meet?
actually got together when she wrote her book, The Mother of Black Hollywood. And she came to DC and I hosted a book party for her.
Oh,
And that day we hit it off so well. We've never lost touch. And in fact, I mean, we've gone on vacation together. We go to our little our wheatgrass farm where we go to like
what?
where the fancy ladies go to the fat farm. We do.
Okay. Oh, that's what
It's
it
more
is.
of a spiritual cleanse for us, but the other folks are trying to get it down.
Shoot, I might want to hang out. Get a
Exactly.
little wheatgrass cleansing.
Exactly. I tell you, she is 3 hours behind me in LA, but every morning, the first call she makes, she FaceTimes me, and she'll be laying there. Mm, somebody got to give me some coffee. Somebody got to give me some green juice. I'm like, girl, can you please get up and then call?
That was a pretty good impression, by the way.
Because I see it every day. We
Yeah.
have so much fun. And
Mm.
I really love how she takes her talent and her passion for social justice and she's putting it into these songs. I
Yes,
don't know if you saw the
voting,
latest one
everything.
she did.
Mm.
All hands on deck. Get your knees off our necks.
Oh, it's a beautiful that song. The first time I saw it on her feed on Instagram, I was brought to tears with that. It was so
Yeah.
real, and she was singing that song from her soul.
From her soul. And she's so magnanimous and she's so gracious. She knows how much I love and support her, and she always lets me write a little line or put something into the songs, and
Oh,
she uses it
did she
in the
write
song.
something? for this one?
Yeah, well, she reads me the songs or she'll sing them for me before she puts them out, and I'll say, well, what about this? And I'll give her a little note, and then she puts it in the song. And this one meant so much to me that we got together and we decided to make T-shirts. All hands on deck. Get your knee off our necks.
Oh, we
And
have
they
to.
launch on Tuesday on jenniferlewis.com. You'll be able to see it on her social media. She'll do the promo for it. But we're going to be really giving away thousands of them, but they also are for sale, and we're going to donate the money.
That is such a wonderful thing. I wish I had that now. So we just go to jenniferlewis.com to get our shirts. What about masks?
jenniferlewis.com.
Masks too, or no?
No, we don't have masks yet, but maybe we should.
Talk to your friend.
Maybe we should.
Tell
'Cause we can do
Auntie
anything.
Jennifer. Yeah, it's a great idea. I'll wear them all and post and everything. I'll say, Paul Wharton told me to wear this.
Good idea, Angela. Okay, I have to cut you in.
Yeah, that's all right. Just it's all love. It's all going for a great cause.
There's so much love here. I really adore you.
Yeah, I adore you too, Paul. And listen, before we let you go, I love what you're doing on the Paul Wharton Show, and you're getting ready to start off again. Tell us all about that.
So I'm launching a new season. It's on July 15th. My show is all style and lifestyle and fun, but this season we are putting a lot more substance into the show. I used to have a podcast called Politics. It's like my version of politics.
Okay.
So we're bringing politics back in segments, and we have fabulous guests lined up. I'm launching on July 15th, Wednesday, July 15th, with Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh my goodness.
Is another wonderful friend of mine. We actually work and we create shows together. And she's so wonderful. I speak about being magnanimous because that's what my father always tells me. Son, you can always be magnanimous. You don't have to be the loudest. You don't have to have the last word. And when Whoopi and I are talking about show ideas, it's just so wonderful. She'll say, you just created that in my head, but you did it. I said, no, Whoopi, we did it.
I love it.
I feel so blessed
That work.
to be surrounded by all of these wonderfully inspiring and iconic women. So I felt like it was just a wonderful homage to her, to have her on the first show of the new season. But so Wednesday at 6, Friday at 6, and Saturday at 5, all new episodes on SiriusXM channel 141, and we are proudly presented by Capital One.
I love it. Got your nice little plug in there for them. Good. He's on it. Oh, and for people to connect with you on social media, how do they do that?
Yeah, so on Instagram, I'm at Paul Wharton Style. If you want to get your hair zhuzhed, I have my own hair care product. And of course, we have skincare and all of that. That's at getzhuzhed.com. GetJUJED.com. And my website, Paul Wharton Style. I'd love to connect and check out my book. If you don't have my book, we sell signed copies of Pulling It All Together on Paul Wharton Style. And of course, my candle line, but just go and check it out and join the conversation. Maybe I'll send you something nice.
He's got everything. He's got everything.
Hey, Angela, you know what I say? The light man cometh, and he won his money.
Yes, he does everything.
You got to keep that thing moving.
COVID
or not, the light man won his money.
He doesn't care. He has no sympathy whatsoever.
Don't you know what's a pandemic?
Hand it over. So listen, we're going to have you back on to promote, all the things that you're doing. Thank you for being with us. But listen, we have two brilliant women standing by. I want you to say hello to them. Brandi Harvey has been on with us before, but this is going to be our first time hanging out with her twin sister, Karli. These two are so dynamic. They don't know that I'm checking them out. Every weekend they have their twin talks, and they are so hilarious and so much fun, and they definitely have a lot to say. So, Paul Wharton, say hello to Brandi and Karli.
Wait a minute. Hey, twins. What's up? How are you guys?
I am in black girl heaven here.
Now, you better feel all this black girl magic, honey. All this black womanness.
Yes.
Black girl.
Well, I am so happy to be connected with you all, and I'm going to reach out to you. I just love what you're doing, and I'm gonna listen in. I can't wait to hear everything that you all talk about.
Man, and you are fabulous.
Yes,
listen,
you are just wonderful. We were just sitting here saying like, oh my God, I want to be more friends.
Whoopee.
Well, let's get that's what
Black
this is all
royalty.
about, right? We talked about our tribes, and connecting. So thank you, Angela, for connecting, for having me on your platform and connecting me to these fabulous women.
Same here. Thank you.
And cheers to you, ladies.
Cheers.
Oh, I'm just going to have to. I don't have a glass. Just got our water good. That's the best drink of them all. Thank you.
Oh, don't worry. It's water.
In a fancy glass.
Listen, today.
See you soon.
Bye, Paul.
Hi, ladies. Wow.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, Brandi, welcome back.
Thank you for having me. I'm back home. What's up, WHUR?
Oh, you know we've got so much love for you. And Karli, it's a pleasure to meet you.
So nice meeting you too, Angela. Thank you for having us on tonight. We are so honored.
I'm honored to have you both on too. And you know, it's so funny. I learned a little something about your sister Brandi today. She takes her workouts very seriously. Brandi was on her way to go work out. She's like, you got 2 minutes. Let's go. I got all nervous, talking all fast.
No, don't worry, Angela. She's like that with everybody. So just feel like you're a part of the family.
I was like, I hope she wasn't offended. I was like,
oh, okay.
I'm clear about my non-negotiables, and my workout is one of those. I promise you.
And you know what? I love that, actually. I work out, and, well, I used to be on my game. Like, I'd shoot for 7 days, and if I got 5 days in, I felt like, you know what? That's a win.
Yeah,
absolutely.
To be perfectly honest, you know, I'm just getting back out because, you know, I'm back in the studios at WHUR now. But I was sitting around at home like everybody else, and my workout game was not like yours, Brandi.
Oh, listen, no, I have been serious. Karli has been like, every time she talks to me, she's like, what are you over there doing? Are you working out? Are you making a cucumber salad? What are you doing?
While I'm at home, whatever she puts down, I done picked it up. So whatever she done left on the floor, I done just picked it right on up and just made it in the cookie.
Oh my goodness. I just love you two so much. I just have to let you know that.
Oh, and thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
We do.
The love is real. And I know you're living in Atlanta. So first of all, I want to talk to you about the whole voting fiasco yesterday.
Yes.
What happened with each of you when you went to vote?
You know, my experience, and Karli and I were checking in with each other throughout the day. Like, are you headed to the polls? What time are you going? And I went like right around that lunchtime. And so I only waited for an hour, but hey, I had my Girl Trek podcast in, you know, and I didn't have any problems, you know, but it was an hour wait.
Yeah, mine literally was 20 minutes. I waited 20 minutes in line. I went around 2:00. 2:30 to go vote, and it was easy. But I will say, in certain areas, they have it set up for you to win, and certain areas are set up to fail.
Exactly.
And so we have friends who live in different areas, different parts of the city, who definitely waited in line 5 hours. 6.
Oh my goodness.
8 hours. 8 hours yesterday. I heard from a friend who waited in line to vote, but when I tell you they have this thing set up, the system is set up for, if it's a predominantly Black neighborhood, they do not have as many voting, so many machines in the area.
But you know what? Our friends, and shout out to some of our friends who are on social, who stood in line, and while they were in line, they were calling their representatives, they were calling the voting bureau, and they were getting machines dropped off
as they stood in line.
Yes. So people, it's real out here in Wakanda, you know, because I know we in Wakanda, y'all, in Atlanta. And so, look, people were, I mean, shout out to all the friends who we saw on Insta Story who were like dropping off lunch today, friends who were in line, like, we're rooting, just stay there, you know. And I think that's a part of what we're seeing in this movement is the community. Like, we are really starting to feel the sense of community that's so necessary during this time, because we have a long way to go. So this is about endurance. And I think if the voting polls show us anything, is that you are going to have some stamina.
Yeah.
This is not going to be a short, quick win. This is a long marathon fight.
Yeah, you're right. It's the sense of community is alive right now more than it's ever been before. If there's anything that's positive that's come out of all of this chaos. I know I was looking on Instagram early yesterday morning, and you know the singer Avery Sunshine.
She's here in Atlanta.
Yeah, she was
She's in Atlanta, and she posted, she and her husband were voting, I guess, where their kids go to school, bright and early in the morning. None of the polls, nothing was working. You know, they were out there for hours and said that they were told, go home and come back. They're like, we are not moving.
No.
Right.
That was the thing. They were trying to get people to just get out of line.
No.
And home. You can't leave.
And this was not, I saw, you know, some of my white counterparts who were out there having that same struggle. And so I think what this is showing us and teaching us how vigilant we have to be in these moments, that we have to really say, I will not be denied. You will not cast me aside. I will not come back. I'm going to stand here right now and get what I deserve. And I think that that's the power of what is sparked in this movement, of what we're seeing in Black Lives Matter, what we've seen in the brutality that we are that the world is finally starting to recognize, is that we are going to get what we deserve because we deserve it.
Absolutely. I mean, like a tree planted by the water. I shout out to people. That was the idea in which you had to go into voting yesterday here in Georgia, was that I will not be moved. You can say whatever. I'm not getting out of line. I am prepared. I have my water. I am prepared to vote today.
I have my snacks, and I'm gonna have so much resistance that I'm gonna even read while I'm in this line, because I don't need to read either. And so y'all tried to keep me from reading. So while I stand in line to vote, I'm gonna read a book. What? Out here revolutionary, okay?
Living your best life. Doing it all in line, got the snacks. But I love that. I love that you're both very aware of your power. Black Lives Matter. So let's stop right there. What does that mean to you in this movement?
Oh, wow. Oh, Angela, I think Black Lives Matter is just us being able to say that we're here, we're not going anywhere, that our husbands matter, our wives matter, our mothers matter, our fathers, our children matter, and that our voice is going to and will be heard. I think that's all about Black Lives Matter. But I think what the movement has shown us in this time is the sense of community, but us actually pouring back into Black community, Black businesses is actually, I've seen more posts on Black restaurants and Black businesses to support in the last few weeks than I have in a year's time. You know, so now that sense of urgency that we have to support one another is there. And so I think if the one thing that has come out of the Black Lives Matter movement, but even all of the things that are going on with the protests, with the riots, is shining a light that we are here and we are not moving. We are going to fight and we're in it to win.
Yeah, I mean, there's power in our presence.
Absolutely.
There's power in our presence. There's power in our voices. And I think what Black Lives Matter means to me is that we're human. And I think if anything, this is showing our humanity.
Yeah.
Because from the beginning of the creation of this nation, you know, we weren't even considered human.
Yeah.
We were 3/5 in the Constitution. And so now when you start to look around, there is a humanity that comes with Blackness. So when you see Blackness, you don't see danger, you don't see a threat, you see human being. You see a life that matters, that's worth living, because we have feelings, we have emotions, we love. And so I think in this movement, what I want to tell everybody is I want to get everything they tried to stop me from getting. I'm going to take everything that I know is mine. You don't want me to be healthy. You don't want me to be well in the world. Hell, you don't want me to live. And so every day of my life, I'm going to dedicate it to being well in the world. I'm going to show up right in the world. I'm going to show up as my best in the world, because that is going to prove that I matter, because I matter to me. I'm a mother, sister, brother, friend, cousin, auntie. You know, I matter. My presence is so valuable and it's so vital to humanity. Look around. If Black people want to hear, baby, it will be a real empty world.
no seasoning.
No seasoning whatsoever. Brandi, you have such a way of inspiring people. I mean, just speaking from your heart. You always do that, and thank you. I love that. It's tough to keep going. Through adverse situations such as what the world is going through right now, beautiful things can come out in the end. We've talked a couple times just in this conversation about Black businesses.
Yeah.
What would you both, I mean, you're both entrepreneurs. What would you both like to see happen, for Black people moving forward? Do you think, people need to start opening their own businesses now? Those who are, maybe working every day and have this idea in the back of their mind that maybe one day, I mean, I think, is that day here? What would you like to see happen?
I think that that's a real possibility. I think that you are capable of doing whatever you so choose. If that means being the person who stays on the 9 to 5 to speak up, to be that beacon of hope and light in your office, I don't think it's anything wrong with that. I don't think everyone's meant to be an entrepreneur. But I do think it is an opportunity for us to start talking about generational wealth and how we start to build that in our communities for ourselves.
Oh, good.
It's a great way for us to start talking about investing in the legacy of our families, i.e. life insurance, i.e. putting forth preparations for when we do pass away and we are no longer physically here. I think all of those conversations need to be had now.
Speaking from a person who does life insurance, she and her husband own insurance agency, so you're going to get that one.
Yeah, blown right out too. But it's important. It is important.
Very, and we're not, sometimes as people of color, we're not having those conversations of us physically not being here anymore. And so I think it's an opportunity for you to open up your business. And if the 9 to 5 is going to fund that dream and you need that check in order to sustain you, I don't think it's anything wrong with that either. Because some people jump into an entrepreneurship pool and they can't swim. They don't have
they don't have very well without a life. Yeah, I mean, because like you said, everyone is not, cut out for it. I mean, it's a lot. You've got to have a lot of resources first before you even start whatever business it is that you want to start.
Absolutely.
Right?
I think, what I would like to see come out of this is, and somebody asked me this on a call the other day, is I'm glad to see a surge in the love of Blackness, with Black people. I want it to be a look into our history of how we got here and where we don't need to go back to. I think it's learning from the movements that were created by the ancestors and our foremothers and forefathers. I think it's that part that I want people to tap into. But I also want people to tap into a different form of resistance because, my thing is my wellness is the revolution. And I say that because on the podcast that I do, I say that in my writings that I do for the newsletter at Beyond Her, because our wellness is revolutionary. In our beautiful words of, Audre Lorde, our self-care will never be self-indulgent. It is self-preservation. It is an act of political warfare. And so if we take care of ourselves, if we start to honor the fact that we need to rest, if we start to liberate our bodies and free our bodies, and then we free our minds, if we start to find joy in the world, that we can find some freedom out here in the world just to be us, just to show up and laugh and bring a spirit of renewal to every place that we go, because everybody is not on the front lines fighting. There are people who need a pillow when they come home. There are teachers who have to restore those who are on the front lines of the movement. And I look at myself as having created a space of wellness where Black women can be safe and be well and rest. And that's a part of it, that this revolution is not all going to be fought on the front lines. That part of the revolution is going to be at home, as self-care, in quiet, in meditation, in walking, in running, in loving, in being,
So not just economic development, but
the spiritual, because we have to have endurance. And I tell people this, yes, you're going to have the endurance to run the race, but you're going to have the endurance, the mental stamina, so you can sustain yourself on the race. You're going to have a heart to love on the race.
With no guilt at all attached to it.
No.
And you said it's important to have fun, to have joy in your life.
Yes.
And so is. I mean, that comes out. If you're the kind of person who is constantly worried, constantly just thinking negative, it comes out. You don't know that it does. Nobody really wants to be around you because you're sad.
And we're asked that, will you really be? And I think we have to start looking at what role do we want to play in the movement?
Right.
Because everyone's role is not going to be the same. And I think that we have to be okay with that. And then we don't shame each other for not playing the role that each other is playing. That there has to be a love and embrace to know that in all four corners that there's a place for me to go to restore, to rejuvenate, to protest, and then to get loved on.
I love that. And all very important pieces. With the joy, Twin Talks gives me so much joy.
Hey, that's our resistance. That's our resistance. Come laugh with us on Sunday.
That really, honestly, Angela, is what we've been doing Twin Talk literally for over a year, going on 2 years. Where we do Sunday lives, so we just started saving them for our IGTVs. But
we stopped doing them. Like the COVID hit, and we were like, "Oh my God, this is too much."
We hadn't
done them in like months.
We hadn't done them, but we said we wanted something to feel good, and so we just decided again to pick it back up and to hit the Instagram, to engage, and to have a good platform to laugh, to feel good, take your mind off what's going on in the world, in your life, and then. We started bringing people together too.
Let me just say, it is so hilarious. You guys, I mean, you talk about, topical things, whatever I guess you feel like talking about. And it's always fun. But I loved your matchmaking shows. Have you made any matches?
We have made matches, and we have a couple. They are a couple. They're in a relationship. They're in a relationship. Yes. It shocked us too. So Angela, please.
It shocked us because
we were like,
go
what?
Together. But our job is just to be the vessel to bring the people together, and however they choose to use it, that's on them. But we started doing this during the quarantine where we just started reaching out. Like, does anyone want to get hooked up? Singles want to mingle?
Shoot your shot. It's the COVID.
Let's do it.
Just go slide in the DMs. What could happen?
The response that we have gotten has been overwhelming. We literally get messages in DMs about people. Can you hook me up on the show?
So pre-COVID, I would host a lot of these events like singles mingles and trying to get people together. We play these dating games, but the women show up. The women are ready to meet somebody. Guys are so reluctant. But what I loved about what you guys are doing, you get a lot of guys coming on there. I want to meet somebody. That was so surprising.
Yeah, and you know what? It's been a lot of the younger guys, and of course, people are looking for that 45 and up. And so a lot of the women are like, when are y'all going to get, and those are real hit or miss because a lot of those guys typically are in relationships
or just coming out of a divorce and they're not trying to do it no more.
Listen.
But we have been very successful with, the 30 range, the 35 and up. We have been successful that 35 to 40 window. But, this Sunday, if you guys tune in, we do have an over 45 man coming on Sunday. Yeah. And he's
what?
We have one.
Well, maybe he'll bring some friends. You never know.
Well, a couple weeks ago, we had a guy who was like 48. 48. Came on, and he was a crowd favorite, but he
slid on with somebody who we know.
Like they ended up talking via Instagram. Yeah. So we are bringing people together.
Yes. You get the full credit for that. Yeah. I remember I was watching, and there was a guy. If somebody comes on there, they can't be too sensitive because they will clown you in the comment section.
Yes.
Saying. And there was a guy, I think he was a pastor, good-looking guy.
Oh,
John Terry. Whatever happened? That was the last time I watched. And
it is a real backstory to John Terry. Yes. So It's a real story, and it's actually, he's a really good guy.
Yeah.
And I think it was just the way he was explaining it kind of got him caught up.
Yeah.
But we are going to have him back on the show. He's one of those under 30, you know.
He got married really young, again, got divorced very quickly. And so they were our viewers were trying to get the story because the timeline wasn't really adding up.
Right.
I had to ask some real questions here. Like, are you single? Does your ex-wife know you're on here?
Right. We will let you know in the comment section.
Listen, look, I promise you, we can't plan this. We do not do any like pre-production. Nothing.
No questions.
We're taking just live callers, and it's just like we're rolling the dice every time we hit up. We turn on that live, so I think that's what makes it fun. It keeps us on our toes.
Yes,
and we really just have a good time doing it. It's really like sometimes, like even last Sunday, it was not about anybody else. It was about us. It was. We want to laugh.
And just I think somebody hit something and the light got turned around. Even that was hilarious.
That was
her. We couldn't turn it back.
We wouldn't turn back around, and people were like hollering, laughing, like y'all
was one of them.
Are real. They are in live time.
Yeah.
If you hear my son, who's 3, screaming and crying in the background because he couldn't get his way, it's all real. We are nothing is staged or planned. We are just giving you all we got.
Yeah.
Well, as people can witness just from tonight, you two are so entertaining, and it's obvious the love that you have. And I love that you're so close and that it is about the two of you. And, other people are kind of invited to join in a little bit.
Because our goal, honestly, Angela, is to make people feel good.
Feel good. That's it.
We're not coming with any hate. We're not coming with any. We just honestly want to make people feel good.
We really
That's
do.
it. That's it.
Both of you, you're very intelligent, very beautiful, very loving ladies. And I'm proud to know you. I mean, it's a new relationship, but I'm not going anywhere, and I can't wait.
We love you, Angela. Thank you so much.
That is from the heart. So tell everyone how they can connect with you and check out your Twin Talk.
Our Instagram handles are right there on the screen. I am Karli Raymond and I am Brandi Harvey. You can also connect with me on Beyond Her, which is my website. I have a weekly newsletter, and of course,
boom.
So separately, we got a book, girl.
You can buy it on Amazon.
You can buy it on Amazon.
And she has the Beyond Her podcast.
Listen, your girl is out here working. And
I love it. Don't stop.
Karli comes out with this app. So we're moving. Yeah, we're shaking.
So it's all about vegan cooking. I am a person who loves to cook, loves to transform recipes. And before I even became vegan, cooking was my jam. And so here I am. I said I am going to create app/recipe book that makes people see that vegan life is attainable and it's good.
And it can be good.
It's really good.
It can be good.
So,
yeah, really delicious.
Yeah.
I'm not vegan anymore, but at age 12, my parents decided we were going to be vegan. Oh. And then it was just called vegetarian. But then as an adult, I added fish. So I'm a pescatarian, but I can still work with those.
We were pescatarians for years.
Yeah, before we went vegan.
Since college. Yeah. We're pescatarian.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both for all that you do.
Thank you, Angela, for
having you back. And keep inspiring us all. Now, Brandi, you inspired me to step up my workout game.
Let's do it. Let's do it. And you are looking fit and fine.
Yes,
so listen.
I'm doing all right, but I'm trying to get better. It's a daily thing.
You celebrate the win. Celebrate the win.
There you go. I'm celebrating the win.
Yeah. So good talking to you, Angela.
Thank you,
Have
Angela.
a good night.
Peace. Bye, guys.
Bye. Wow, I love tonight's show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. HUR at Home Lifestyle is every Wednesday. For the full lineup of what we're doing, go to WHUR.com. It's all right there, including this interview. It's going to be right there as well, including Facebook, YouTube. Check us out, WHUR-FM on Instagram. And whatever you do, keep it locked on 96.3 WHUR. I'm Angela Stribling. Good night.